What's going on, guys? It is Bernardo, and you just saw a quick unboxing on the Panasonic Connect Let's Note FV4 laptop. So what comes inside the box? You have your instruction manual right here. Awesome, pretty lengthy. Let's put this to the side. We have our power cable and we have our power adapter. Now, the power adapter is about 109.9 watts. Let's round it off to 110 watts. Let's take the power cable and the power adapter. Let's hook it up real quick because we will be needing it pretty soon. And then last but not least, we have the Panasonic Connect Let's Note FV4 laptop. Very lengthy name. So we're just going to go and call it Let's Note from Panasonic. Now, this laptop weighs around 2.3 pounds with a thickness of 0.70 inches. The entire body is made out of magnesium alloy, which during my conclusion part, I'm going to give you my 2 cents about the body type because I got really bad news on it. Now, if you have the laptop facing you to the point that you are able to open it up like this, let's look at the right-hand side. Now, on the right side, we have one VGA port. We have two 5.0 gigabit per second USB-A ports. We have a micro SDXC slot, and then 1 gigabit per second RJ45. Now, on the left-hand side, we have our power port. We have two USB-C with power delivery. We have a headphone / mic jack, and then one 5.0 gigabit per second USB-A port.
Wait a minute, Sir Bernardo. You forgot to mention the HDMI port. Panasonic Connect Let's Note FV4 is equipped with an HDMI port.
On the front side, we have our power button and also our LED indicators. So let's take the power supply. Let's hook it up. Let's power this guy on and look at some of the specifications. All right, so let's give it power. Let's plug it in real quick. Let's open it up real quick automatically. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this, but as soon as you open it up, you see how flexible it is. I'm going to go over the body, because I have my 2 cents on this at the end of the video during the conclusion part. But yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's weird. So let's open it up. Awesome. Beautiful. Great. All right. Power button is located on your left-hand side if you're facing forward. Let's turn it on. All right, so the Let's Note FV4 from Panasonic does have Windows Hello. It has that infrared webcam. Let's use it real quick. Awesome, we're logged in. All right, so off the bat, one of the things that caught my eye is the trackpad on the Let's Note. So measurement-wise, if you want to know the circumference, because it is a circle, it is 2.50 inches. Now, using the trackpad itself was pretty odd because this entire thing right here, the silver lining, is not part of the right or left click. It's just part of the design. So your left click and right click is here, which is cool. But using it was okay. Got to get used to it because it's not really large like a rectangle like most laptops, but a circle, really weird choice for a laptop, but it works out with no problem. Now for the keyboard just worked. I had no issues using the keyboard on the Let's Note. Super responsive. One of the things that caught me off guard is that the keyboard is not backlit. So function spacebar didn't turn anything on. I was looking at the function keys and I wasn't able to find a way to turn on the backlit on the keyboard, which is really weird. Now, if you want to know the distance between each key, super tight, measuring around 0.03 inches. Now, if you want to talk about speakers, speakers are actually located on your right and left-hand side at the very bottom. They're pretty loud. The loudness that I got on these speakers, the room was around 52.9 decibels, and I raised the volume to 50% and I played something in YouTube and it went up to 95.7 decibels, which was an increase of 42.8 decibels. Now, when it increased the music around 100%, it jumped up to 106.1 decibels, which was an increase of 10.4 decibels. Overall, the speakers on the Let's Notes goes up to 53.2 decibels. All right, let's talk about this display. Now, the display itself is 14 inches, non-touch. I really don't like touchscreen displays, so this right here was pretty great. 14 inches is really good for the size. Now, the resolution on the Let's Note is 2160 by 1440. Refresh rate on the display is 60 hertz. Now, the brightness right now, I think this is the brightest. I'm going to hold the function key and we are going to press F2. This is the highest and this is the lowest that we could go on the brightness. Let's do it one more time. This is the highest and this is the lowest. And let's do it one more time and this is the brightest. Now you want to know the nits. It is 350 nits for the brightness. Now this machine does do HDR. Only for video streaming supported. It's only supported for video streaming. That's it. At the very top of the display, we have our webcam. It is a 1080p webcam. For the camera, it is 2.1 megapixel. And for video, you are able to go up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. Now, I did capture some raw footage of me using the webcam as well as the built-in mics that are next to it. So let's take a look at that.
All right, so this is me using the built-in webcam as well as the microphones on the Let's Note laptop from Panasonic. So far on the display, it looks amazing. I think the webcam is around 1080p, which is awesome. Hopefully everything sounds great and looks great when I show this particular B-roll. And I'm gonna stop it right here. And let's continue.
All right, so we just went over the trackpad, the keyboard, the display, and the webcam on the Let's Notes FV4 from Panasonic. So let's go over some of the specifications. So I'm going to hold the control key, shift, and click on escape to bring up the task manager. Fancy way to do that. We are going to go into performance. Let's right-click on the CPU, change graph to logical processor. Now, this machine is running a 13th gen Intel Core i7 1370p processor, one socket, 14 cores, 20 logical processors with a base speed of 1.90 gigahertz. This thing is a monster. For memory, it is housing 32 gigs. For the C drive, the hard drive, it is a Opal solid state drive, which is encryption technology embedded within the solid state drive, which is great for those individuals that are concerned with security. This is great. For GPU, it is a Intel Iris Xe graphics. Shared GPU memory is around 16 gigs, which is really good. Now, using this machine, doing a little bit of video editing, as well as using and testing it out with PC Mark 10 and also Puget Bench for Photoshop, I got a lot of amazing results on this machine. It doesn't have a high-end NVIDIA card, graphics card to process a lot of things, but I was able to use Adobe Premiere, Photoshop, a little bit of media encoding, and I did find a little bit of lag when I was dealing with DaVinci and doing coloring. It wasn't kind of quick when I was making modifications, but this machine is able to handle all those programs. Now, I wasn't really heavily using them, but for an individual that's probably using Photoshop or DaVinci heavy, you're definitely going to see a lag on that department. But overall, I think the machine is capable of handling all that stuff. Now for heating, because I have vents right here, all that heat is going to hit the display. And I did notice that it gets hot between, I would say, 94 to 96 Fahrenheit. So it's kind of expected with this vent right here hitting all that heat to the display. At the bottom, don't get me wrong, you got a couple of vents as well, but it's going to get warm. I think the highest was around 96 Fahrenheit. Now, I was able to play some low-end games on this particular machine. Not the greatest graphics in the world, but you are able to game on it, which was pretty interesting. Now for noise, I did notice noise on the Let's Notes, and it all depends on what you're doing on it. When I was rendering or opening up particular programs, it did make some loud noise, which I'm going to drop the B-roll so you guys can actually hear it. Now for wattage turned off, it's around 9.4 to 9.8 watts. When you power it on, it kind of jumps up to, I would say, 47 to 49 watts. Idle, not doing much. I would say between under 29 watts. As soon as you start using it, the wattage will go up. It just depends on what you're going to be doing on this particular machine. All right, so we just talked about the performance on the Let's Note from Panasonic. Let's close the task manager up. Cool. And I like to use PC Mark 10 to run my battery test. Now, the first one that I ran was PC Mark 10 Office Battery Life. And that's just basically just using Word, Excel, PowerPoint, going online and using it just like basic usage. 7 hours, 33 minutes. I ran another test, which I'm going to show you guys right now. Boom. Just pure applications, just using straight basic stuff, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. That gave it 9 hours and 9 minutes. And the third test I ran was video, just plain video, 8 hours and 55 minutes, just plain video straight until the battery completely died. And the last test was, again, I did another office test. Battery life was around 10 hours and 55 minutes, but it was using another product from PC Mark. Panasonic actually advertised that the battery life is going to last between 10 hours. And I think you could actually get this machine to run for 10 hours straight. Not straight, but it all depends on how you're using it. If you are, streaming a lot of video, playing music, and you're using Premiere, Photoshop, I think the battery life is going to drain a little faster. You're going to get between, I would say, 7 to 8 hours. If you're doing the light work on this particular machine and not really heavy, you could actually get it up to 10 hours. All right, let's conclude our unboxing / review on the Panasonic Connect Let's Note FV4 laptop. So let's talk about the external monitors, because it has one VGA, one monitor, right? As an HDMI, 2 monitors, and it has 2 Type-C ports that allows you to hook up native Type-C monitors. So a total of 4 external monitors. I was not able to do 4. I was able to do a native HDMI. And for the Type-C, I actually had a Type-C adapter with an HDMI port. So I plugged it in and I was able to use an external monitor that route. But you are able to hook up 4 monitors, a VGA, an HDMI, and then 2 Type-C monitors. Now for pricing, if you want to know about the pricing, I searched everywhere and I couldn't get a legit pricing. Panasonic actually has a website dedicated to the Let's Note FV4, but it doesn't really give you any pricing at all. You have to contact sales to get a pricing for this machine, which kind of sucks. So I can't really tell you like the retail price or how high it will go up to. I forgot to tell you guys about the battery. The battery life is amazing, right? You are able to go up to 10 hours, which is great. But this guy has a removable battery, which is really rare to see. So if you turn it around, there's 2 notches that you squeeze and then you're able to pull out the battery, which is great because you are able to purchase additional batteries. And if it dies, just slap in another battery and then you're up and running, which is awesome. Now, upgrading this machine is a pain in the butt. As soon as you flip it over, there is 21 screws that you have to remove. Now, the bits that I use, or the Phillips screwdrivers that I use, was a PH0 and a PH1. They're really tiny screws, so make sure you don't lose them. And there's 21 of them. So just make sure, it's a lot of work to actually get in there and replace any of the parts. Overall experience on this machine off the bat, when I took it out of the box, when I did the unboxing, I did notice that one side of the laptop was a little bent. It was kind of secure inside the box. So I'm kind of concerned how that got bent. So keep, when you get it, check it out. Make sure you check it out. I think because it's made out of magnesium alloy, the entire body feels kind of flimsy. I was really scared to travel with this and actually add it inside my book bag. Actually had to purchase or find a sleeve with some cushion to slide it in there to carry it around because I just felt like it's just so weak. The display itself is like really wobbly. It's inside internally, it has the power, it has the CPU, it has the memory, it has the solid state drive, it has everything. It's just the body that's housing all the internal parts just sucks. The size is great. Display is 14 inches. Like I said, the only downside about the Let's Note is the body. The materials that is housing all the awesomeness that's capable to handle Adobe Premiere, DaVinci with a little lag, Photoshop, and all that other stuff, Lightroom, I'm able to do all that stuff. But the body itself is just so, I don't know, it's just so weak for me.
Sir Bernardo, you forgot to mention the cool kickstands at the bottom of the Let's Note. You don't see that on laptop these days.
And that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review / unboxing on the Panasonic Connect Let's Note FV4 laptop. And I catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.